Hi, Assalamualaikum, morning. So this video will cover chapter 8, which is investor relations. This is one of the most important sub-functions of public relations and corporate communication now. Having businesses being forced to become more transparent and open in the way they operate and or communicate to their stakeholder groups and also constituents. So as an overview of this chapter, we will cover subtopics such as of course the evolution of investor relations practice in businesses. We will look also into types of investors, and then what public relations or investor relations practitioners can do with investor relations to add value to the corporate communication practice of their organization. Okay, to begin with, why IR has become an important sub-function in the business practices lately. Of course, not only, as I've mentioned earlier, because of the needs of organization to become more transparent. This is also needed to maximize stakeholder value. Okay, so companies must continually communicate their progress towards the goal to the investing public. People want to know what not only their return on investment, but what's in it for them. As the word itself, stakeholder, which means that whatever that the businesses do would have a stake in the investment of your of course investors lah. So according to IR, investor relation, it requires a specific program to run investor relations in your organization. Okay, so it goes beyond explaining financial results. It also involves giving guidance on future earnings to the critical investor, and also simply put, it goes beyond numbers. It's not only reporting your financial situation to your stakeholders, but also the company's overall performance, whether it does involve money or not. Okay, so let's take a little bit, let's look into some definitions here. The National Investor Relations Institute, or NIRI, defines investor relation as a strategic management responsibility. Okay, so it is a responsibility, and now that this functions integrates not only finance but communication, marketing, security, law, compliance, to enable the most effective two-way communication between the company, its financial community, and other constituency, which ultimately contributes to a company's securities achieving fair valuation. Now, notice that I use the word security twice. Security in this sense does not mean keselamatan. Okay, securities are stocks, bonds, that are used to describe the company's value in terms of money, and shares, that are bought by the investors investing in the company, right? So now, while explaining financial results and giving guidance on future is very critical, investor relations practitioners must also pursue a cluster of objectives. It is more than that. Of course, making money is one of it, but not necessarily the primary one. Okay, yes, companies seek profit, but as equally important as that is the core ideology or core value and sense of purpose of the establishment of the organization. Right now, Investor relations professional therefore needs to link the corporate communication to the company's vision as frequently as possible. This we have mentioned not only for IR but for other sub-functions as well, which means that whatever communication activities that is to take place must be in line with the company's vision and mission for it to become relevant and effective. Okay, so increasingly, because of that, IR that is traditionally handled by PR and media relations professional becomes critical, because it involves communicating with many of the same constituencies. All right, so now investors nowadays are not just interested in looking at numbers, but they are interested to understand the company's core value. And to create this better understanding, companies require to expand the communication to their shareholders from obligatory financial disclosure, yang dimestikan dan diwajibkan, to include, of course, both intangible and non-financial aspect of businesses. Okay, and investors, of course, they need understandable explanation on financial performance. Most of them, sometimes they do have money, they invest in companies, but they are not good in reading digits. Okay, so these digits needs to be transcribed into an understandable message, by you as corporate communication practitioners, into messages that are understood, by the community. Okay, so of course you need to explain financial performance as well as non-financial information about companies. This includes your CSR activities, change in structure, organizational structure, vision, mission, etc. Okay, so according to a research by a company in America, the best-in-class companies will look for will look beyond basic financial reporting, because they recognize that maintaining good communication with analysts and investors involves shifting the focus away from short-term performance towards the drivers of long-term companies' health and as their expectation for business conditions and their long-range goals. Okay, so you need to be able to tell the investors that company is doing well in terms of sales and numbers, and at the same time the company is also doing well in terms of other things, which means it includes image, reputation, and also their status and rank, in their specific industry, because people no longer want to look into short-term programs, but they want to know long-term, in the long run, how would this company survive and how can they stay loyal without taking too many risks. Okay, so to ensure a company presents itself clearly and favorably in all of these fronts, IR professional must have both financial acumen and also solid communication skills. So you must understand, of course, communication skill and also about financial processes, and also financial reporting. Now, in early part of the 20th century, company secrecy was a great concern. Okay, for disclosure of any kind of information was seen as harmful to the interest of the corporation. But of course, this perception changes with the passage of with the pass of in America two Federal Securities Acts here, but for Malaysia, with the emergence of the Suruhanjaya Security, or the Securities Commission, in Malaysia. Now, despite the new reporting responsibility, corporations were interested only in mandatory disclosure at that point of time, untuk just memenuhi syarat, mandatory disclosure, because once you are public listed, you must disclose your financial information to your financial community. okay, through financial reports, annual reports, monthly or quarterly update in your website and all the other social media. But it has gone to more than just mandatory reporting. It is fulfilling the demands of your financial community with informations that may not be required by the Securities Commission, but something that you do as an added value here for your reporting activities. Okay, so now, okay, so investors want understandable explanation. So again, it is your task to curate accurate information in terms of digit and also other messages in a form where it is easily read and understood by your public. Okay, so now the framework for managing investor relations. Okay, there are mainly three objectives of an investor relation program. Now, so while the structure of an IR program will differ or vary from one organization to another, of course, based on the company's side, it is also based on its complexity of business and the composition of its stakeholder base. Okay, but the main goal of IR is basically the same for all organizations, which is to position the company to compete effectively for investors' capital. Okay, we are competing for people's money, for people's ringgit or dollar to be invested in our organization. So it is crucial that you put forth your company at the very best position or in the best limelight, so that people will see that it is much more profitable, secure to invest in your company as opposed to other companies in the same industry. Okay, so to achieve this goal, companies needs to focus on the following objectives. So there's three. Number one, to explain the company's vision, strategy and potential to investors and conduit constituencies. Who are these conduit constituencies? They are the analysts and the media. This we'll look into a little bit later. Okay, so but understand the first objective is to explain your company's vision and strategy, and also your company's potential to the investors. Okay, this is one of the most critical duty of an IR professional. You must get messages about the company out by showing results and potential and also future prospect of your organization across to these people as understandably as possible. Make them know your company well in terms of operations as well as future prospects. Okay, now number two, the objective of an IR program is to ensure that the expectation of your company's stock price are appropriate for its earning prospect, its industry outlook and the economy. Okay, this means that IRO, kita panggil Investor Relations Officers, or these PR officers doing IR, needs to understand investors' concern, okay, and expectation for the organization, and you must relay these messages back to your management so that there is a high level of understanding of what the market anticipates from the organization. Okay, almost always we want people to hear about our organization, okay, but it is also crucial for us to know their expectations so that we can either level up or sometimes there is a need to level down to meet these people's expectation, so to say that we speak on the same wavelength, and that whatever money that they are investing into the organization would be of the same worth and value. Okay, so why is it important to convey this to your management? Because if management at that point of time does not see that the company is able to meet the market expectation, then you as an IRO need to work closely with the management to craft a communication plan to explain why and to manage the expectation appropriately. Okay, remember I said just now sometimes you have to take it a level down, but of course you do not want your company to lose. Yeah, at the end of the day you want profit. So this is where you need to sit down with your management, brainstorm, come up with a communication plan, and to put this expectation as appropriately as possible for a win-win situation for both you and the investing public. Okay, so conversely, yeah, or vice versa, if the management feels that the company's potential is not reflected by the stock price, yeah, which means that from your market survey you found out that the stock price is undervalued, yeah, it could have been, it could cost more, but it is not at this point of time, then you need to come up with a strategy, yeah, develop a strategy to help the investors to see that potential and accordingly drive the stock to appropriate level. Okay, you cannot change the stock price, yeah, tapi you boleh convince the investors accordingly, yeah, so that when they inject the capital into your organization, this will slowly be able to drive the stock to appropriate level. How you can do this is by communicating about your company's future goals, yeah, to influence and persuade them that the company is doing okay and that it would be beneficial for them to invest in your organization. Now, the next objective is to reduce stock price volatility. Volatility means apa? Pergerakan, turun naik pasaran saham. Now, because why? Because the situation in the businesses now is that it is a sell now and ask questions later environment. Okay, you have to have a strong IR capability, yeah, to be able to maintain, yeah, your stock price and shareholder base. Okay, so how you can accomplish this through the related goal of optimizing the company's shareholder structure to include primarily long-term stock owners. Okay, later when we talk about the type of investors, you will understand that there are long-term and short-term investors. So to reduce stock volatility, you need to keep the long-term investors, okay, as much as possible, and reduce numbers of short-term investors, okay, or daily traders. Okay, and of course IRO will also have to often respond to market news or events that have the potential to affect stock price negatively in the short term. Now, stock price can be affected by many different factors, yeah, not only the world economy but whatever is happening around the globe, yeah, and closer to the company, meaning that whatever that is happening in Malaysia will affect the not only ringgit price of Malaysia, of the Malaysian currency ringgit, but also the company's stock price, Malaysian company's stock price.